Hello, Rob McNeilly here again, and welcome to the 20th video. This is the last in the series of this 4-week program, connecting with resources in hypnosis. Now, over these weeks, we've been exploring this approach, which is based on what I learned in my time with Milton Erickson and have developed over the last 3 or 4 decades in my clinical work and in my teaching in different parts of the world. They are offered as a guide, something for you to play with, something to vary from, certainly not some rigid protocol that you should stick to. In fact, the sooner you throw the structure away and start to play with your own variation, the better. But what we've looked at over this time together is we've looked at the way, instead of hypnosis as being thought of some weird magical incantation or like a general anesthetic, we can look at it as an experience, as an extension of the common everyday trance, where we can get involved in reading a book, watching a movie, walking in nature and so on. And then if we think of hypnosis then, not as what it actually is, but just giving a working description as being an experience where there's focus and absorption that we can mutually agree as being hypnosis, that gives us a very respectful, easy approach to hypnosis. And we don't have to worry about what hypnosis really is. We don't have to worry about whether someone is hypnotizable. We can just build on the experience that every individual has, and every individual has an ability to focus and get absorbed in something. We can start with that, and then we're up and running. And we saw that by inviting someone into an experience that they like, this is going to provide a very acceptable, very accessible experience for someone to focus and get absorbed in. As well as that, when we're doing something that we like, and particularly if we explore what we like about that, there are so many resources there. In fact, we can say that when we're doing something we like, we've got all the resources we could ever need. Otherwise, we would not like it. So clarifying what someone likes and what they like about it, and then clarifying what is it that brought them to the therapy, what's the problem, and what is it about that that is problematic to them, that is troublesome to them, is causing the suffering for them, which will lead on to this wonderful question of what's missing. Once we've found out what's missing, we know what to look for. And if we invite someone into an experience that they like, invite focus and absorption, and then comment on the changes, we have the ingredients for what we are now able to describe as a hypnotic experience. And it's an experience where they're going to have all the resources they could want. So we know what we're looking for, we know where to look for it. Oh, got that great combination. So having invited someone into this experience, we can then specifically invite them to look around and find what it is that's missing in the problem area, and expect that they will find it. Once they've found it, all we need to do is to give them an opportunity to sit with it, to soak it up, to learn it, to get familiar with it. So it's not just an idea that can kind of have a chance to get into their bones, into their marrow, so it becomes a part of them. And then comes the fun part of helping them to connect that experience in their lives with the area that's been problematic. And we explored the 3 ways that we can do that. We can say what you're doing in your likes is the same as in the problem area. This is like that. Some people will make the connection. Some people won't. And then we can say, so what is it about doing what you like and having the experience here that could be useful for dealing with the problematic situation there? How is this like that? So the client can come up with their own connection. Or we can bring in the notion of learning. When you first learn to do whatever it is that you like doing, to read, to ride a bicycle, to walk, or whatever. You had this difficulty and you learnt it, and now you not only have learnt it, but you actually enjoy it. So in the same way that you learn that, you can learn this. So we have then a process which can have an organic feel to it without the pressure on us or the client to suddenly be okay. Translates the change from a jump to a process. Great. Such a relief all round. And then, when we've done this, we can invite someone to complete the hypnosis. We don't need to have some special ritual, just as we don't have to have a ritual for someone to go into hypnosis. There's no special ritual to come out of hypnosis. They can just do what they need to do. Then we can have a conversation. And it's so nice then to ask what's different, to clarify with someone what is different now than when we started. Once that's clear, we can then play with that, emphasize anything useful, explore anything that was not so useful, and then that helps for the future. And then to say thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your problem. Thank you for letting us be part of your solution. Thank you. And then finally, as part of the session, to explore what we might invite someone to do after the session finishes, when they get back into their life, how they can take the experience that's been beneficial and apply it in their life. Take it with them. Learning is portable, of course, so it may be enough to just remind them of that, but to have a conversation so that it's not like, oh, you're okay here, so, out you go, good luck. But rather, okay, this is how you're feeling, things are improved, things are great, or a little bit better, whatever. So what can we do to have that continue? Wonderful conversation. And then yesterday we looked at ways of dealing with getting unstuck. And I recommended that if you're feeling stuck or the client's stuck, get back to the beginning, listen again. What do you like? What do you like about it? What's the problem? How come that's a problem? What's missing? And then off we go and see what happens the second time through. If that still doesn't do it, then we can validate the legitimacy of someone being reluctant to let go of it, reluctant to move, reluctant to learn, reluctant to let go of the problem and move towards the solution. Not as a way of condoning their reluctance, but simply a way of acknowledging the legitimacy of it. So that's something of what we've been doing over this last weeks. And I'm hoping that the way we've explored this and the way that you've been able to play with it is starting to fit into your practice and be able to incorporate in your practice so that it can contribute to the effectiveness of what you're doing and to the satisfaction of seeing the way clients, given the opportunity, can make their own connections with just a little bit of guidance so that then they're ready to get on with their life. So with this notification, or the notification that came about this call, there's a small ebook there that you can download, and that is a summary, a written summary of some of the steps that we've been playing with, if you'd like to have that as a reference. So I want to thank you for being willing to be with me along this journey. It's been a pleasure for me to put this series together, and a pleasure for me to be able to share with you some of these very simple, very practical, very easy ideas so that you can translate them into your own work, make your own variations, and see what you can do with that. So I'd love it if you could leave some comments down below about what's different now for you than when we started. And to have the question, what's still missing? Because there's always something missing. Like, what's next for you? What will be helpful for you to remind yourself about this? Maybe referring to the ebook. maybe reviewing these videos, maybe, I don't know, reading some books. It can be, I don't know, what, to just reflect on what might be useful for you. And I'd love to hear from you about what's different and what would be useful for you in the future. And either leave a comment on the site here or send me an email. And I want to thank you for being willing to be in this process. It's been a real joy for me to be in this with you and to have the possibility of contributing to your learning, the effectiveness in your work, and to your personal and professional satisfaction. A big thank you.